Well, can the state's first black attorney general, backed by President Trump, unseat the incumbent governor who continues to lead in the polls? Early voting started today, and the race for the governor's mansion in Kentucky is on the ballot. WDRB's Lindsay Allen breaks down this matchup between Andy Beshear and Daniel Cameron.
And to say it's been a turbulent last 4 years may be an understatement. Andy Beshear led the state through COVID and 2 major natural disasters, while Daniel Cameron, as Attorney General, was thrust into the national spotlight during the Breonna Taylor investigation. What happens in the next chapter begins with a choice for Kentucky voters.
My opponent's campaign is built on attacks and lies, but you know me, and you know it isn't true. We've been through a lot together.
I'm the only candidate endorsed by President Trump and the only candidate who stood up to Joe Biden.
Cut through the noise of the attack ads and campaign commercials. On the issues, where do the candidates stand? On abortion, Daniel Cameron is pro-life, Andy Beshear is pro-choice. But both call each other extreme. After the Supreme Court reversed Roe v. Wade, abortion is only allowed in Kentucky if the life of the mother is at risk. Cameron now says he would support exceptions for rape and incest.
If the legislature were to give me a bill with exceptions in it, I would certainly sign it.
And on late-term abortions, Beshear said this in a recent debate.
I have always believed in reasonable restrictions, especially on late-term abortions.
On education, Beshear wants to give teachers and staff an 11% pay increase and wants funding to expand pre-K for all 4-year-olds across the state. Cameron calls for catching students up from the COVID learning loss with a 16-week plan and also wants to give teachers a pay boost. Beshear has faced heavy criticism for shutting down schools during COVID.
Andy Beshear, like Gavin Newsom, tried to shut this state down for nearly 2 years.
Did you go too far?
I believe we made the best decisions we could with the information we had.
While Cameron would not give clear answers during debates on whether he supports school vouchers. On the economy, the two candidates paint vastly different pictures.
Since I've become governor, we brought in a record $27.5 billion of new investment, more than any governor, whether they served 1 term or 2 terms.
The economy is not doing well. You know it at home because you're having to work 2 or 3 jobs. You know it at home because when you go to the grocery store, your bill is more.
Cameron wants to eliminate the income tax entirely to offset inflation. But Beshear argues that would force a sales tax hike or cuts to government services. Beshear did sign a GOP bill this year that cuts the income tax rate by 0.5%. And on public safety, Beshear calls for moving all statewide law enforcement officers back to defined pension benefits and a $2,500 pay raise for KSP troopers. Cameron wants to add a KSP post in Louisville and $5,000 recruitment and retention bonuses for law enforcement. In the remaining days of the campaign, both candidates will be flooding the airwaves and ratcheting up the rhetoric.
I serve every single Kentucky family. My opponent only sees in red or blue.
I mean, this is a race about crazy versus normal.
The choice is left up to you. The candidates have set a new state record for the amount of money raised in this campaign with a reported $44 million. Beshear far outpaced Cameron in contributions, but election finance data shows that GOP super PACs have stepped in to prop up Cameron's advertising dollars. I'm Lindsay Allen, WDRB News.